We had discussed already many times. You have to learn to live in two worlds. You participate in the life of the higher world without withdrawing from the earthly sphere. This now becomes tangible, concrete, practical and alive by making your soul a spiritual disciple and creating a spiritual world for it where to live. We remember, you create your eternal individuality yourself, namely with your thoughts and feelings. Man is what he thinks. Thoughts create our inner being. Life is not about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. You build and animate the avatar, the alter ego of a king of the spirit or a disciple of the brotherhood. We had already discussed this practice in detail in the videos Bring Your Soul to Life and Participation in the Life of the Higher World. How do you want people to perceive and call you? Everything is possible. The most devoted disciple of Buddha, a true king, the merry widow, old teacher. But you must earn such a title by embodying this ideal. Why do you so much emphasize the role of a disciple? Because on whatever rung of the ladder of hierarchy you are, and whatever else you may be, you always are a disciple and definitely have your teacher. Because even the Mahatmas are still disciples and in turn have their teachers. In a unitary world, physical, subtle and fiery, you must form a unitary identity out of your three bodies, physical, subtle and fiery, and always remain one and the same person on all three levels. The human pyramid is a unity. Therefore, if you are not to be torn asunder, your transient personality on earth must be nothing other than your eternal self in heaven. You are your indivisible total being of body and soul is only then really and fully a disciple if you appear and live as such on all planes, in all worlds, thus in particular also in the earthly sphere. You were a disciple before you were born. You want to be a disciple again after death in the higher world. So you must remain a disciple in the meantime on earth. Am I not withdrawing from life when I dream of an existence as a disciple of wisdom? No, your earthly and your supermundane existence are running side by side. You appear simultaneously as father of a family, baker or shoemaker, and as a master disciple. Does it not mean a splitting of my consciousness? if I work as a shoemaker and at the same time imagine that I am a disciple? No. On the contrary, you are expanding your consciousness. In every material situation, you are simultaneously, consciously acting on the second, the spiritual level of reality as well. Only in this way do you realize the unity of your personality, which is, in its essence, a disciple, in all worlds, at all times, and on all planes of existence. Only on the earthly level do you temporarily hold also other offices in various incarnations. As a unitary being, you live in all three worlds simultaneously. That means you have to arrange your abode not only on the material, but also on the spiritual plane in a way that corresponds to the essence of your being. How do I build the world of my soul? Just like your eternal individuality, you also create the world in which it lives with the help of your thoughts and feelings. We repeat. Your consciousness determines the world in which you live. It is our own consciousness that determines the well-being we deserve. To transform the consciousness means to enter a special world. It means to acquire a special evaluation of all that occurs. Do you recognize the huge opportunity? By changing your consciousness, you can improve the world in which you live, regardless of the external circumstances. How do you want to make use of this invaluable opportunity? What kind of a world do you want to create? Where, in which environment do you wish to live? What does your personal paradise look like? Aim high. Reach for the stars. Recognize. The highest imaginable, and thus the highest accessible world in which a soul can live, which regards itself as a disciple on the path to mastery, is the ashram of its teacher. Imagine a holy place in nature, a temple on a mountaintop, far above the lowlands of the earth. Imagine a community of wise teachers and spiritually toiling disciples in white robes, embedded in a firm order of prayer, striving for perfection and selfless service, in an atmosphere of purity, spiritual discipline, dignity, solemnity, and peace. This is what the heaven of a disciple of the Spirit looks like. Is there a concrete example? Read again how Elisabeth Haich in the classic Initiation describes her sublime life in an Egyptian temple school among great teachers and pure spiritual fellow disciples. I cannot think of a higher way of life. If you are aware of one, please let me know. But all this is quite far removed from my normal, everyday life. Well, then think of Helena Röhrig, who lived with her husband and 2 sons in the Kulu Valley such a pure life that she was able to have a spiritual discourse with the ruler of this earth for several hours a day, and to receive from him the thousands of pages of the books of Agni Yoga. People dream of driving a beautiful car or owning a magnificent palace. You do not just dream. You are actually building the world you are longing for, and you really live in it. And you do so with your spiritual power, only with an adjustment of your consciousness. You may carry this inner world with you wherever you go. You never have to leave it, not even in the greatest turmoil. All the attacks of chaos are defeated by it. With some practice, the sacred peace and quietness of a temple can imbue your whole life. Only the heart can sense the sacred stillness. An elevated sensitivity can fill the whole life of experienced people without diverting them from labor and creativity. Sensitive people will feel the sanctuary that surrounds you, in which you are living. The sacred is not to be sought in a place, but in deeds and life and customs. If these are according to God's will and to the commandment, you serve the word of God, also when you are at home, also when you are in the market. And what do I say in the market, even when you are in the theater? Do not doubt that you are in a holy place.